Alright, this is going to be a video of this 36-inch unknown ceiling fan I got at the Habitat Restore. I got it because I volunteered there, and what I do for them is clean up and fix fans and lighting. They receive a better nation, make them more presentable and run better than they originally were. Anyway, what I mean by unknown is there's zero indication of the brand anywhere on the fan. There is one sticker on top here that does say a model number, a UL file listing, and a production place of origin, which is Hong Kong, by the way. I did look up the old file listing. Nothing shows up because the fan is just so old that probably expired years ago. Another thing is the model number does mention the number 52 in it. This fan is 36 inches, full span from blade tip to blade tip. Generally a 52 or 48 or 36, whatever, in the model number does indicate the size, so I suspect these blades are not original, at least not from factory. Anyway, the blades themselves are reversible from just plain teak wood to teak with a cane insert. I really like this cane, two reasons. Number one, it's in good condition, and number two, it's not some cheap vinyl crap. This is actually the real deal. It's all natural, really cool. Anyway, the pull chain pendant here is not original. I wish I actually could use a stencil, or excuse me, what am I saying, a tassel here, but I don't have any currently. So, without further ado, here's the fan. And this is the high speed. Anyway, this fan does have really bad bearings even after I oiled it. So the original owners didn't take too good a care of it, I guess. It was not particularly dirty, but oiling is one thing this fan hasn't really ever seen until now. I don't know if they oil these in the factory or not. Probably at least a little bit. It does blow a decent amount of air, even though the blade brackets are not pitched too much. Kind of surprised me for a vintage 80s fan. It does have kind of a shake to it, as you can see by the pull chain dancing around there. But it's not too bad. RPM wise, just judging by the piece of black tape I put on one of the blade brackets, this probably goes somewhere around maybe 240. Okay? Now for medium, this is not going to slow down too much, and maybe only going to go 195, maybe 200. So nothing noticeable, actually, not huge. And finally for the low speed, which does slow down quite a bit. And this is going to go maybe 100 to maybe 90 RPM. And low speed is when the bearings are the worst. Standing back here listening. Alright, turn everything off, slow the blades down, and I'll talk about some general information on it. The blade brackets themselves do get mentioned a lot, but they are quite unique, other than not having much pitch. They do have quite a steep drop, I guess if you want to say, from the motor to actually where the blade is. The shape themselves is not too unique, as Casablanca did use this a lot, but I just find it interesting, the shape. A flush mount design on this fan is another, I guess, unique thing. In Canada, really only Aircool, that was the only manufacturer who used this. Those fans were branded Can-Arm and sold sometime in the mid-80s. There were about maybe 3 models that used this here in Canada. In the US, a manufacturer called Gulf Coast made the model Seabreeze. That was a lot more popular than it was here, as I don't think it was actually even sold here. Anyway, enough about that. The motor housing does kind of remind me of a Hunter, maybe a Hunter Comfort Breeze, although this is definitely not. And the motor inside is not particularly large. I find that odd, just like how the blade brackets are not particularly well pitched either. Two common things on 80s fans that actually do not appear on this model. Anyway, now I'm going to talk about the pros and cons. I really like the design on this, again with the flush mounting and also the really wide motor housing, though it does look a bit disproportionate with these small blades, and I wish I did have larger ones. I actually tried larger ones, but they did not have the exact holes, so I couldn't use them. It still looks nice, especially with the natural cane. Very 80s feature, especially in the early 80s. Another thing is the switch housing does allow you to, if you just take off this cap, you can add any light kit. There's no special plugs or anything, just wires with wire connectors on there, so it's pretty easy to add a light on there. I didn't want to. I think it looks good the way it is, but if I were, I would definitely add a brass one, because the amount of brass and the amount of white on this fan is not equal, and I kind of just want to even it out a bit. One more thing I like is the high quality, even though was kind of disappointed about the blade pitch and the motor size. It is still really powerful, really thick metal all over the fan, and not cheap crap. Anyway, I'm now going to talk about the cons. I really don't like the bearings, how loud they are. That's just ridiculous. This would not make a good bedroom fan. And also, it does wobble a little. However, other than that, I'd probably have to give it 4 stars. Also, if you have any idea what the brand is, I really want to know. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see if I can find the sticker up here with the model, just so I could show you guys. I think here it is, around this area. There it is. So if anyone recognizes the sticker for any clue what brand it is, I'd really appreciate you mentioning that in the comments.